Hello, my name is Benjamin May, principal bass of the Pittsburgh Philharmonic. I would like to welcome you to episode 1 of the Pittsburgh Philharmonic podcast.
Founded in 1975, the Pittsburgh Philharmonic has grown from a small community ensemble into a lasting musical institution in the North Hills of Pittsburgh. This is their story. The orchestra began on September 15, 1975, as the North Pittsburgh Civic Symphony, founded by Frank Farina, Gordon Neuenschwander, and Elizabeth Pittenger. From the very beginning, it was rooted in community, bringing together local musicians to perform classical repertoire for audiences across the region. In its early years, the orchestra performed in schools, churches, and even shopping malls, making music accessible and visible throughout the North Hills. By the late 1970s, under the direction of founder Frank Farina, the ensemble had established itself as a vibrant part of the local cultural landscape. Through the 1980s, the orchestra passed through several phases of leadership, including conductors Thomas de Blasis and Woody Brown, as it continued to grow and strengthen its presence in the community. By the late 1980s, John C. Mitchell took the helm, guiding the orchestra into a new level of organizational maturity. In 1992, the organization formally incorporated as a nonprofit, marking its transition from a grassroots ensemble into a structured and enduring institution. As the orchestra continued to grow, so too did its identity. By the mid-1990s, the North Pittsburgh Civic Symphony became the North Pittsburgh Philharmonic, reflecting a broader artistic vision and expanding reach. During this period, conductor Bruce Laufer led the orchestra through a transitional era, laying the groundwork for its next phase. In 1996, a new chapter began with the appointment of Roger Tabler. Under his leadership, the orchestra expanded its repertoire, strengthened its identity, and built a dedicated base of musicians and audiences. In 2007, the organization adopted its current name, the Pittsburgh Philharmonic, reflecting its role within a wider regional community. Following Tabler's departure in 2009, the orchestra entered a period of transition, marked by guest conductors and significant changes in membership. It was a moment of uncertainty, but also one that would lead to renewal. In 2011, conductor Edward Leonard assumed leadership, beginning a period of rebuilding and revitalization. Over the following years, the orchestra regained stability, welcoming new musicians while maintaining its connection to long-standing members. In 2019, Daniel Nesta Curtis took the podium, continuing the orchestra's development into the modern era. In 2024, Daniel stepped down after a fruitful 5-year tenure, prompting a search for new leadership. From that search emerged the current conductor, Jeffrey Klefstad, who has brought renewed energy, expanded the orchestra's repertoire, and drawn in a new generation of musicians. Today, under the direction of Jeffrey Klefstad, the Pittsburgh Philharmonic continues its mission, bringing together musicians from across the region to perform, to collaborate, and to share music with the community. From its founding in 1975 to the present day, the orchestra's history is defined not only by its conductors, but by the generations of musicians who have sustained it.
Okay, this is an interview with Mike Lockman.
Correct.
And you are president of the orchestra?
Yes, I'm president of the board of directors for the Pittsburgh Philharmonic. I've been that position for about 5 years. I have one more year to go, and then I'll pass it on to some younger guy.
So, Mike, tell me just a little bit about your background.
Well, I was a high school band director in a public school for 38 years. Loved every minute of it. But I thought it was about time to get out, and there were a dozen guys dying for my position. So I retired, and they all fought it out till they got what they wanted. But yes, I was a band director.
That's really interesting. So you probably had to learn how to play all the different instruments, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
you need to know the bassoon fingerings and, the correct way to do a timpani roll and all that kind of stuff. But at the high school level, those kids are pretty darn good by then. Oh yeah, if you're in 4th or 5th grade, you pull your hair out then. But in the high school, they're pretty accomplished, so they got their thing down. You're like really making music.
So tell me, how did you arrive at the Philharmonic? How long have you been with the organization?
This is my 21st year. Yes, the way I got interested was my daughters are both musicians. Brittany is an oboist and Ashley is a flutist. And they were doing the students side-by-side concerts in the summer. And I would bring them to rehearsal, and somebody says, "Oh, you play trumpet, don't you?" Yes. Says, "We need a trumpet sub here for this next concert. Would you be willing to play?" I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll play. I'm coming anyway." So one thing after another, they kept needing subs, and then Roger Tabler was the director way back then, and I auditioned, and I've been sitting in that seat ever since.
That's fantastic. So what do you like about the orchestra? What keeps you staying in the orchestra, and where do you see it going forward?
I've been in the orchestra for 3 or 4 different directors, and it seems each one brings something different to the orchestra. Jeffrey is a taskmaster. He really is attention to detail. Everything has to be right in the style of the piece, which is outstanding. One thing, this almost sounds humorous, but I sit down and I open this piece of music, Prokofiev, this is the same piece of music the big boys play down at Heinz Hall, and I'm sitting here playing it. No, I don't play it as well as them, but the same thing the big boys are doing, and I'm like, that's what keeps me here.
Excellent. Well, do you have any other last comments, or?
No, love it all. We have a concert coming up here in about an hour, and we're ready to go.
Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to a great performance. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we'll start with your name.
All right, Rachel Smith.
All right, Rachel. So just tell me a little bit about your background on the cello.
I started playing cello when I was 6, and I went to Duquesne for a bachelor's in performance, and then that's it. I have been playing cello my whole life.
Awesome. How did you get involved with the Philharmonic?
I was friends with 2 conductors prior to this, Eddie Leonard, and he asked me to sub for one of their cellos, or their principal that was like kind of back and forth, and then he never came back, so I stayed.
That's a good. Okay, and then now that you've been in the orchestra for how many years?
At least 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
So now that you really know the orchestra well, what keeps you coming back?
I love this group. I love everybody in it. I think it's a great place for people to have like a positive relationship with performance, and yeah, I just think it's really fun.
And then last question, where do you see us in the future?
I like what we're doing. I like the direction that we're under with Jeffrey. I just like being able to play really good music together, and I just hope to continue to do that. Actually, though, I do think we should start doing like smaller groups, kind of like outreach like
Like
ensembles.
chamber stuff?
Yeah, I would love that.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be really fun. But
Excellent.
other than that, yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Join us for an unforgettable evening with the Pittsburgh Philharmonic. On Sunday, May 10th, the orchestra takes the stage at the Masonic Center, located at 3579 Masonic Way in Pittsburgh. The program will feature Ralph Vaughan Williams' Symphony No. 5, a deeply expressive and serene masterpiece of the 20th century repertoire. We'll also present the first movement of the Saint-Saëns Cello Concerto No. 1, performed by the winner of our Young Artist competition, showcasing the next generation of exceptional talent. And in celebration of new music, the concert will include the world premiere of The Village and the Hero's Last Stand, a powerful new work by the Young Composers Competition winner, J.P. Zach. In addition to the concert, we're proud to continue our commitment to music education through our annual Student Side-by-Side program. Students entering grades 8 through 12 are invited to audition for the opportunity to rehearse and perform alongside members of the Pittsburgh Philharmonic. The audition will take place on May 16th, with applications due by May 10th. We hope you'll join us for this inspiring evening of music and community. Visit our website for tickets and more information.